Hi everyone, I'm Michelle Rushing with Stampin' Butterfly. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I thought it'd be fun. It's July 5th and it's Monday night. I thought it'd be fun to get together and take a look at this past month, the June 2021 Paper Pumpkin Kit. I love pink and purple, so I'm pretty excited with the kit, and I thought it'd be fun to put together the card, at least one of the samples of the cards, and then I did some playing around with it this weekend, so I have lots of great samples to share with you at the end. Also wanted to share a couple upcoming events going on and different things that Stampin' Up has as well. So this month, Stampin' Up has a designer series paper, which we call DSP, and there's a bunch of select items on sale for 15% off. So there are a lot of great papers to pick from, and if you're interested in picking up any of those, feel free to stop by my Stampin' Up store and use this month's host code, and you can pick those up. Or if you have a different demonstrator you use, make sure you check out the sale. Also, I have an upcoming to-go class, which features the pansy petals, so I'll give you a quick look at that suite as well. And the RSVP is due June 12th. So if you're interested in that, you can head over to the same site that I have listed above and click on the events tab and look at June 12th. And it has all the details in there, what's included in the kit, and how to RSVP. There's some RSVP links in there as well. So I hope you'll be able to join me on one of those different events that I have upcoming. And like I said, the next one is the pansy petals. So let's take a look at a few things now. So let's flip down. And if you're here, I'd love to know it. So please drop me a little hello in the comments so I know you're out there. And welcome to all my new people on my page. I know I've had a lot of people join my Facebook page, so welcome. I love having you here and look forward to working with you, and I hope you enjoy my ideas that I like to share. So first of all, here's our designer paper that I was telling you about. Actually, a couple of things to note. They're one of the Christmas papers, the 6x6 Tidings of Christmas in the annual catalog is actually on sale. So I don't have that yet. I just ordered it. So once I get that, I can share that a little close up with you. And I do have some of the patterns. If you want to take a closer look, we could do another video so you can see the papers. But right now, so these are the ones that are on sale. The Beauty of Earth, Bloom Where You're Planted, Hand Penned, Pansy Petals, In the Wild, In Good Taste, Sweet Symmetry, Tidings of Christmas, and Your Peach. So they're all 15% off, so that comes out, I think they're all $9.78 a pack. So it's a great value, and you know our designer paper is gorgeous. It's always two-sided and lots of pretty things. So let me know if you have any questions on that. And then my to-go class features, let's take a quick look at this. So the Pansy Petals Suite. So we'll be using this suite to make our cards for this month's kit. So if you need more information, I'll have that posted on my website, so you can go to the events tab. But I did just want to quickly point that out before we got started. So let's take a look at this Paper Pumpkin kit this month. And if you're new to Paper Pumpkin, basically it's a kit provided by Stampin' Up that you can subscribe to monthly, or you can just do a couple months at a time, however you want to. There's two different ways to order it. And each month it comes with everything you need to complete your project, and they come in this adorable cute box. So this month features the Expressions in Color. Ooh, that light's on there. There you go. And it's the June 2021, and they did this gorgeous color. Normally it's like an orangey box, so I'm excited with this new pink and purple box for this month. And then when you open your kit, it comes with full color instructions. They also post a YouTube video, so that'll do like a quick high-speed walkthrough that you can, watch and pause. And we're going to go ahead and make one of these cards together. Now all your pieces come in your kit. The only thing you might want to add are some scissors, and if you like a different type of adhesive. So the other thing to note about this month's kit, it was a special one, so they did a special designer box, and they also gave us 2 ink spots. Normally your kit comes with 1. So let's take a look. So this month it came with Bumblebee and Evening Evergreen. Now when I make my samples, I'm going to use my full-size ones. I like to save these because I give them away to customers. So I don't always open my ink spots. I save them as little prizes and giveaways if people need some colors. The other thing to note in this month's kit is that it coordinates with our Expressions in Ink, which is a suite in the annual catalog. And this paper is absolutely gorgeous. I will try to give you a quick look at it at the end of the video. I do have the paper, so you can take a look and see what you think. But paper, I think, hands down is my most favorite paper in the annual catalog. Now the other neat thing about our little instruction sheet is it tells you everything included in your kit. So you'll see you have your card bases, your envelopes, you get glue dots, embellishments, a stamp set, your ink pads, and all your little doodads. So that's really great too. And then they have some additional ideas of things you can do. So let's set these aside and take a look at the completed cards. So these are the cards that the kit makes. And this card base, the green one is the Evening Evergreen. And then this card base is Bumblebee. And then this card base is a watercolor with your polished pink and your fresh freesia. And then the back as well is fresh freesia. So gorgeous, gorgeous cards as designed. Quick and easy. And you'll see actually I used my own ink on this. So I liked the polished pink. I think they designed it with Bumblebee. But I decided to go with polished pink. And this is the card we'll actually be making tonight together. I've already used up a bunch of my supplies making alternatives. So we will get started. Just take a quick look. You can see that it comes with vellum and the inside of the card. So the outside is colored and the inside is white. So these are the special card bases that came with the kit. And we're going to make this guy. So we're just going to stick him up there. And we can take a look at what's in the kit. So we received some twine and a beautiful exclusive stamp set. Each month the kit comes with a different stamp set. Oh, that's better. And lots of different sentiments in here. You are amazing. Sending hugs, many congratulations, thanks for everything, and then some pretty flowers and some decorative background. So you receive that. Your first paper pumpkin kit, you always get a block. So they start you off with the skinny block. And I like to use my wider blocks that you can purchase at Stampin' Up. So that's what we'll be using. But your first kit will come with this, and you'll use it on every kit you have. And then, well, like I said, I used my kits. They're mostly leftover pieces. So we received 3 pages of this, but I've used them all. So this is the leftover. And then we also received a page of tags, and you can see I still have leftover on that as well. And then we received the 3 vellum pieces. And what's really cool about this one is depending on where you're sending your card, you have German, French, and English. So it has Danke, Merci, and Thanks. So that's a lot of fun because I do have friends stationed over in Germany, so I can send them cards now. And then this is my card base we'll use tonight since I used up all the other pieces. We've got some dimensionals that they provide, and we'll need those guys. And some extra glue dots to glue your pieces on. And these work well for the vellum. So when you're trying to line those up, we'll use those. Some beautiful sequins. They're sticky backed, so that makes it easy to put them on. Additional labels, so here's some more. And again, I haven't used all of those guys up. And then here are some of the extra words that I didn't use. So I did make one card with Merci, but I have these extra ones. And you can see what I did on this one is I used some blends. So I'll show you that a little bit later. We can do one of those. So let's go ahead and move these guys out of the way. And if you stay around till the end, I'll show you all my alternative cards I was playing around with. But right now we are going to get started on the one card that we're going to make together. So we're going to go ahead and just pop, well, let's see, we'll pop this guy out first so we can move these out of our way. We need a label. And we're going to need the flower. We just pop this guy out. Alrighty, and again, you could color these. The back of your vellum, you can use your blends markers to color those, or you can use it the way it is. So we're going to make the card pretty close to the way it's designed in the kit. And if you're an avid stamper and you like to go crazy, you can totally change it up. I mean, you don't have to copy theirs. But if you want a quick and easy project, it's nice to have everything all in one spot. You can just grab and go. And it's great for vacation time this time of year as well. All right, so where did I put the instructions? So let's show you the instructions really quick. So we are putting together card number 1. And first we'll cut our string, and it says to cut it 26 inches. And then it shows where to put your glue dots. Might be a little hard to see on screen. And then step 2, we're going to stamp. And again, they used Bumblebee. I'm going to use fresh freesia. Some dimensionals on the back of your label. and then you put your card together and you throw some embellishments on there. So what's nice is our new kits, the instructions have a little ruler down the side, so you have centimeters and you have inches. So if you're traveling and you don't have your ruler handy, you can go ahead and do that. So we need 26 inches. So, and I don't know if I need that much, but we'll just go with it. All right, so there we go. We'll put our instructions off to the side. And do I have, yes, I have my little glue dots. So sometimes it's hard, so we're gonna wrap the twine around twice. So sometimes I find it hard to tie a bow. Some people love tying bows, some don't. Oh, look, I didn't measure it as good as I thought. Okay, so we're gonna do one time. Because I did not make mine long enough. I was thinking it was one time, not two. All right, so we're going to tie one string around there. And I have this little trick that works so well because it's hard to tie bows. If you take one of your glue dots and you put it about where you want your bow to be. So the glue dots are hard to see on camera, but it's sticky on the one side and there's a little backing you have to peel off. So we will go ahead and do that. And then what I do is I just get the X to where I want it to be. Make sure I'm still on camera so you guys can see that. And then that holds the little X. And wow, that's a really crooked piece of string. Let's change that. All right, we're getting there. See, bows on camera are never fun to do. All right, there we go. A little bit better. Let's see if that works. All right, so just gonna tie our bow, and then we can make it as big or as small as we want the loops to be. I think that looks good. We'll just trim off this side, call it good. All right. Now the next thing we need to do is take our flower, and based on the picture, let's fold this over so it doesn't slide off. And then you can see it. All right, that's a little bit better. All righty. So we want, if we want to be exactly like they do, we will put our flower something like that. So we'll put some glue dots in this area down here, and if you line it up on the white pieces, it hides it a little bit. It's a little harder to glue down your vellum because you do see pieces of it. All right, we'll just stick some there. Let's see, that looks like a thick enough spot. And maybe this one over here. All right, so you can use your nail to peel the backings off, or you can use your little pokey tool, piercing tool. All right, and then we're just going to stick it down. Now, I don't like that it's sticking up so much, so I followed theirs, but I think we should put another piece like right behind this guy, maybe. Give it a little more places to stick down on. There we go. That holds it down better. Okay, so now we're going to do a little bit of stamping. Got a little scrap paper in case I make a mess. And there's our label. So like I said, I'm going to change the color. We're going to use fresh freesia on this one. Actually, I used polished pink last time. We'll use fresh freesia because that's what I brought over. So now the way these stamps work is you use your block and you just peel off your photopolymers. So you can just peel it off and stick it on your block. So this is a flower. It's not used in this card per se, but we're going to use it on the inside and on our envelope. And then I've already stuck my sentiment on here earlier. So it says, "You are amazing." And if you love this kit and you have it and you're working away on it, the refills are actually available in the store. So they're $10, and what the refill kit gives you is all your paper products. So it doesn't include the inks or stamps, but it gives you all the consumable pieces. All right, so when you're using your ink pads, remember to tap lightly, and then you're just gonna stamp straight down. Give it a second so that the ink transfers to your paper, and then you can lift up. All right, I think that looks pretty good. So we have our tag done. And let's put that there. So let's decorate our envelope a little bit. So we can ink up that flower I just mounted, and it looks like there's a sticky on there. That might be underneath. Okay, we'll see how it stamps. So you can stamp the back of your envelope flap. And then you could also do the corner of the front if you wanted. So you can stamp the front. It's much prettier to get a card in the mail with a pretty envelope. So you can use all the extra stamps that come in your kit to do lots of things, even after you're done with your kit. Clean those up. I think that's all the stamping. And that was quick and easy. And close that. Move that little paper out of the way, and then we can finish up our card. So we're going to go ahead. So that was step 2, was stamping. Step 3 is adding our dimensionals. So again, these are sticky on one side, and then they have a backing, so you have to remember to peel off your backing. And got a little pile of mess over here. There, now you can't see it. We'll scooch it off. And then we're just going to go ahead and stick it over the side. And, oops, see, I'm not straight over my card. I think that is straight. What do you think? That looks pretty straight. Okay. And then step 4 just says to put your rhinestones on, or your sequins. So we'll just use our little tool to pull off some of these, and we will just randomly stick them on our card wherever we want to put them. Yeah, I guess that's okay. Let's move it over here. Kind of looked weird. Right there. Okay, perfect. So there you go. Now we have our beautiful card. Now how gorgeous is that? You could even stamp on the inside like we did with the envelope. You can stamp that flower down here too. Or you can use this swishy piece. And you'll see I've used a lot of these stamps on my sample cards. I think the only thing I didn't use was sending hugs and this little doodad guy. But we'll show you that in a little bit. All right, so that's our card and what's included in the kit. Now let's take a quick look at the coordinating products for this suite. So if you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber and you haven't purchased Stampin' Up! Products before, I'll give you a quick look at some of the paper because it is gorgeous. All right, so what do you think? Which one do you like better? The one with the pink or the purple? Or if you go with your Stampin' Up! Colors, polished pink or fresh freesia. It's like a tongue twister. So you'll have to let me know which one you like better. So we will put those guys aside, and I will show you the dies and the stamps. So the artistically inked suite has coordinating paper, stamps, dies, and I believe there's an ephemeral pack. I don't know how you pronounce that, but there's some gold foily stuff as well. So this is the stamp set, and it's orange rubber. Gives you gorgeous look. I stamped a few of those. I'll show you that in a minute. Let's put that where you're not blinded. And then here are the dies. So you have some ornate dies right here that do the leaves and the flowers. And this is basically the imprint that was on that vellum that we used, and I'll show you in a second how that lines up. And then these actually die cut out some of your images on here. So somewhere along the line you turn it and there you go. And it cuts out these images. So I'm not a fan of fussy cutting, so I love that it cuts out almost, I think, every image except your watercolor background. So here's what some of these look like. So here are the leaves. These leaves here cut in foil, and I've used that die cut and some of my alternatives. And then here are some of the flowers. So that's this one stamped and this one, and then there's some pretty leaves as well from that piece that you can, attach to your card. Gives you a really pretty look. Some of these little tiny flowers, and then you can cut these ornate flowers out of any paper we have. So this is just a Daffodil Delight, so a bright yellow. And then I tried it on some ombre paper, and this came out gorgeous. I don't know if you can tell. There you go. That's better with a white background. So it's a glitter paper and it's ombre, so it's a little bit lighter and darker. And then I also tested it on some glitter vellum, and that came out beautiful too. That's the fresh freesia. And I don't know if you can see, yeah, you can see the glitter a little bit. So now if you compare that to our card, which might have been easier if I hadn't glued it down, but if you compare it to that vellum image we used, we turn it, it's exactly the same image that they printed on there. So if you love the paper pumpkin kit, you might want to consider picking up the coordinating suite, because these are just gorgeous and they make such quick and easy cards. So those are the dies and the stamps. Now the paper is to die for. I love this paper. I love the colors. It features all the in colors that we just came out with in this new catalog. And it's extra special paper. So it's the specialty paper, which if you look, it has foil on one side and then regular colors. Well, they're gorgeous, but there's no gold foiling on this side. So I'll give you a closer look at these. So I've used a piece of this on one of the samples I'm going to show you. So it's gold on that side, and then it's that pale papaya orangey color. This has some gorgeous pink, polished pink, and the gold foiling. And then these are great cards. So if you just cut them as a standard card front, you could stamp on the top and decorate them quite easily. And here's some gold and green. And these would be pretty for Christmas cards too. And then that same stamped image from the stamp set. And these are similar. They're a little bit more watercolor wash on them. And then the gold foiling as well. And I used this piece on one of our samples that you'll see in a little bit. And then here's this one. Again, you can make that your card base and just cut it into 6 card fronts and get some gorgeous cards. The colors are even brighter than probably what they look on my camera. I think my camera dulls them a bit because the pink's much brighter. All right, so that's the paper. Now let's take a look at what I did with the vellum. So I showed you this one. So the vellum comes like that. It's hard to see sometimes. But if you put it on a piece of dark cardstock, it kind of gives you a pop. So it pops pretty nicely. But if you wanted to change it up, you could use your blend markers. So these are our alcohol markers. And you could use any of these. Now I find that the soft, like the light colors, don't show up as well in the back of the vellum. So I'll show you that. And I think we're going to go with the evergreen because it is darker. So we'll just color a little piece of that. So that's the light. And then, and you can do multiple coats as well depending on how dark you want it to be. But all I did was just color the whole background of that. And you could go off the edges and color it pretty quickly. But once it dries, you can put a second layer on. So you can see the difference. It's much darker with the dark blend. So I like using the dark colors better. That might have even been this soft succulent. But here it is with the evening evergreen. So it gives you a really pretty look. Another way to decorate your vellum. All right. Do you guys want to see the alternative cards I messed around with this weekend? All right. So here are... These are the card bases that were provided. Where's the originals? Okay, there. So this is the original as designed. So we stamped the background, that flower that we were using, and some other flowers. And I think I added the bow. I don't think they had the bow. And then what I did on this one is I wanted a thank you card. So I colored the vellum like I just showed you how to do. And then did many thanks in the background and some flowers. Now on this one, I took the full sheet of vellum and I cut it in half. So I layered it on this card and I used it on another. And I did a double twine bow. I like the bows a little bit better than wrapping the twine. Sometimes I find it hard sometimes to wrap it around. And then some extra leaves that were on one of the other cards. So if you look here, what I did is this is the vellum I cut in half. And then I took some of these leaves and used it on this card. So you can get a lot more cards out of your kit than what it came with. And then you can also cut some additional colored bases. So for instance, this was evening evergreen. So I made my own card base and then a little insert in there. So what I did here is I took that vellum that we used in our initial card, you know, as designed. So I took that one and I put it on my green base and I used all the green. And then these are some in color gems that I had then were evening evergreen, so I kind of tossed those in there as well. And then I did that splotchy background. I don't know if you can tell. Oh, you can tell. And then some flowers around it just to kind of decorate it. So there's a bunch of different cards you can use with the green. So we'll set those up there. Those are our originals. Then I went ahead and I was playing with the bumblebee a little bit, the bumblebee colors. And these are some of those, that coordinating pack I was telling you about with the gold foil. So some of these cool shapes were in there. And then that's that paper, the coordinating paper. And then these were some extra labels that came in our kit. And the same thing with the sequins and the twine. So I just used some of the kit and made all these additional cards. This one I used some of those leaves and the coordinating dies. One of our border dies there, I just trimmed the card front a little bit on the standard that came with it and added some of that pretty gold foil paper. And I did color this one with pale papaya. So I did color that things with a blend. So it's not just the straight up. Now in this one I went ahead and colored it with the dark evening evergreen and then used the same color leaf. And there's the other piece of that. So you can see that background where I cut it in half. I used it on this card and this card. So there's another one. I don't know, I had so much fun. I just kept going. So this one, I took that extra piece from this card and I embossed it. See if you can tell a little bit. So I embossed it with that painted texture, 3D embossing folder, and then just gave it a little stamp, some embellishments, and then just framed it up a little bit. Put it on some white cardstock. That guy didn't stamp on the inside. Right. Now my favorite, the purples and the pinks. So this one, I just took the standard card base that came with the kit, and I took some extra leaves that were on this kit that I took off of that card, threw on some polished pink ink, and some contour dies. I think these are scalloped contour dies and some Stitch So Sweetly. Then I still had more of those little twigs from the one card that I kind of took them all apart, and I kind of made like a wreath on this one. And I used that swashy color stamp to kind of color the edges of my cardstock. And again, this is cardstock that I cut, so this was a piece I already had. And I just made that. You know, there's the twine from the kit and the extra stamp. So it only took me a few extra little pieces out of my crafting stash to make some more cards with the same kit. And then you can even use the die cut for a stencil. So I'll show you what I did for this one. So this one I took where I punched out the pieces and I just laid that on the cardstock and moved it around. And I used a blending brush. So I have my little blending brushes. I reuse it. So this is purple. So I just colored the purple one, kept it in place on my paper, and then gave it some little lines around the edges to decorate that. So you can even use the extra pieces as stencils. And I'm telling you, I had like one card where I didn't use all of these and I just broke the little pieces off. I got a lot of extra parts. Oh, and here's some more of that same one wreath. And I used the full sheet of vellum on that. But I cut my own card base on there and I used that same splotchy pattern stamped in the corner. And then added a couple extra dies. And that stamp is from the kit. I think the happy birthday was actually, I think that's from the pansy stamp set. But all the other stamps are from this kit. So look at all these different cards you can create with your paper pumpkin kit. The sky's the limit. Oops, there's one more that we did today. So sky's the limit on your paper pumpkin kits with what you can create. And I'll show you some of the envelopes as well. So like I said, you want to try to decorate your envelopes. And here's the tiny ones. This one I just stamped the back. That one I stamped the corner. This one I stamped some more flowers in evening evergreen. And then the bigger cards, I try to coordinate with some of the kit colors. This one I did some of the yellow and the purple together. Some of the back, and I did the front. Polished pink, and then a little bit of bumblebee. So they coordinate with the way I designed the new cards in the kit. So that is the quick look, or maybe not so quick, depending on how you define quick, of the Paper Pumpkin kit this month. I hope you enjoyed it. If you would like to order refills, if you're a subscriber, make sure you go back to your demonstrator site if you have a demonstrator use and check in the store because the kits are available for $10 for the refills. The full kit is not available this month, so you needed to have subscribed before the 10th to receive that particular kit. This month, I believe it's an outdoorsy kit for July, so be on the lookout. I'll post in my page some pictures of that. They did give us a sneak peek, so it looks like it's going to be cute. And let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to post it, and I'll share some information in the discussion as well in the links. And if you enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe if you are watching on YouTube. And if you're watching on Facebook, feel free to like it and leave me a comment and let me know what you thought of the cards. Thanks so much for joining me tonight. Have a great night.